Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the concept of hybridization. So let us take an example to discuss this hybridization. Here we have taken boron trifluoride. In this case the central atom is boron and the atomic number of boron is what? It is 5. So the electronic configuration for boron can be written as 1s2, 2s2 and 2p1. So since during the bond formation we are considering the valence electron, we can write it as what? In the case of 2s2 electron, and in the case of 2p only one subshell is filled. Now here you can see that in the case of BF3 molecule, the boron is forming 3 bonds with the fluorine atom. So we have already studied in valence bond theory that what is that? Half-filled orbitals overlap with each other, resulting in the formation of bond. So here in the case of boron, since it is forming 3 bonds, there should be 3 half-filled orbitals. But here you can see that in the ground state, what is there? There is only 1 half-filled orbital is there. So what we have to do? We have to excite this boron atom. So in the excited state, what happens? One electron from the 2s orbital goes and moves on to the 2p orbital. Now you can see that there are 3 half-filled orbitals in the case of boron atom, and it is ready for what? It is ready for overlap. Now in this case, the surrounding atom is fluorine. So in the case of fluorine, what is the configuration? In the case of fluorine, the configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. In the case of 2p5, we can write it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here in the case of 2p5, what is that? One half-filled orbital is there. Thus, one half-filled orbital of fluorine can overlap with that of boron, forming 3 bonds. But here you can see that the fluorine half-filled orbital is in which subshell? It is in p subshell. And here what type of overlap will be there? sp overlap is there, pp overlap is there, and again what? Again a pp overlap is there. Now in this case you can see that sp overlap and pp overlap, two different type of overlap is there, whereas pp are of same. But it has been experimentally observed that in the case of boron trifluoride, all the bond lengths are equal. The bond are having comparable energy and the bond lengths are equal. So if two different type of orbitals are overlapping, then how the bond lengths will be equal? Our concept of hybridization arises. What is that hybridization? It is the intermixing of atomic orbitals. So what is actually happening there? Here the orbitals are intermixing with each other, resulting in the formation of equal type, or we can say that equivalent type of hybrid orbitals are formed. So in the case of BF3, what is the equivalent type of orbitals are formed? We are getting sp2 hybrid orbitals. So we had seen that in the excited state, how was the boron? The boron was like this. Okay. There were 2p orbital, one electron was excited from what? One electron was excited from the 2s orbital. So here the 3 orbitals combine to form what? To form equivalent orbitals, and these equivalent orbitals are what type? 1s and 2p. So sp2 hybrid orbitals are formed. Now this sp2 hybrid orbitals overlap with that of boron atom. So in the case of boron atom, the sp3 hybrid orbitals are formed. No. So sp2 hybrid orbitals, and in the case of fluorine, the last electron, the half-filled electron was in which subshell? It was in p subshell. So they overlap with each other, and our figure will be like this. The fluorines, this one is for fluorines p orbital. They overlap with each other, resulting in the formation of what? Resulting in the formation of BF3 molecule. And in the VSEPR theory, we had studied that the shape should be such that there is what? There is minimum repulsion and maximum distance. So the overlap takes place. And how this overlap takes place? Because of the formation of hybrid orbitals. Let us take one more example. For our better understanding, let us take the example for methane. So how to check whether hybridization is involved or not? First, we have to write down the electronic configuration of the central atom. So in this case, the central atom is what? It is carbon. So the configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2, because the atomic number of carbon is 6. Here you can see that in the ground state configuration, it is written like this. This valence orbitals, the valence electrons can be written like this in the ground state. Now next we have to see whether excitation is essential or excitation is needed or not. You can see that in the case of carbon, in the case of methane molecule, there are 4 hydrogen atoms. That means the carbon is forming 4 bonds. But in this case, how many half-filled orbitals are there? Yes, only 2 half-filled orbitals are there. Whereas carbon needs 4 half-filled orbitals. So definitely what is required in this case? The excitation is required. So 1 electron from 2s orbital moves to the 2p orbital. And now you can see that how many orbitals are there? There are 4 half-filled electrons are there. 1 in 2s and 3 in 2p. Now consider the case of hydrogen. We know that in the case of hydrogen, what is our configuration? It is 1s1. So the s orbital has to overlap with ss, sp, sp and sp overlap. But we know that in the case of overlapping to take place, what should happen? They should have equivalent energy. So for equivalent energy, what is that? These orbitals 1s and 3p orbitals overlap, resulting in the formation of an hybrid orbitals, which is now having what type of energy? It is now having equal energy. So thus the carbon, you can see here, in the case of carbon, this one is 1 sp3 hybridized orbital, this one is 1 sp3 hybridized orbital, this one is 1 sp3 hybridized orbital, and this one is 1 sp3 hybridized orbital in the case of carbon. Now what is that? It is overlapping with hydrogen atom. So here hydrogen atom, here our overlapping hydrogen atom, and here also what is overlapping hydrogen atom. So what is that? Here hybrid orbitals are formed which are of equal energy. So you can see that. What do you mean by hybrid orbitals? Let us see. So we can define hybridization as it is the intermixing of atomic orbitals of slightly different energy into what? Into hybrid orbitals. When they become hybrid orbitals, the hybrid orbitals are of having what energy? They are having equivalent energy and identical shape. Now these hybrid orbitals are for which? The hybrid orbitals are considered for the central atom in a molecule. Now let us see what are the characteristic features of hybridization. First one says that the number of hybrid orbital formed is equal to number of orbitals that get hybridized. That means if we mix 3 hybrid orbitals, we will be getting what? If we mix 3 atomic orbitals, we will be getting 3 hybrid orbitals. Again, the hybrid orbitals formed should be of what? Should be of equivalent energy, and their shape should be also same. Again, the hybrid orbitals formed are what? They are more effective in forming stable bonds compared to that of atoms, or compared to those where unhybridized orbitals are present. So, if hybrid orbitals are formed, what will be there? There will be more stable bonds will be formed. Now, when we are saying of hybridization, we can see that what are the different type of hybridization. In the case of if there is s orbital, if there is s and p orbitals are involved, we can say the hybridization will be sp hybridization, sp2 hybridization, and sp3 hybridization. Now in certain cases, if s orbital is involved, p is involved, and d also is involved, then our hybridization becomes what? Our hybridization may be sp3d hybridization, sp3d2 hybridization, and again what? sp3d3 hybridization is also there. So in this case, in our video, we will be discussing about these 3 type of hybridization. So let us first consider the sp hybridization. When we say that sp hybridization, you can see that 1 and 1, 2 orbitals are involved. Therefore, our hybrid orbitals will be what? It will be also 2. We have said here. What is that? The number of hybrid orbital formed is equal to number of orbitals that get hybridized. So in this case, 1s and 1p. Example for this is our BeF2. In this case, you can see that what is that? The beryllium atom is having atomic number 4. So here our configuration becomes 2s, whereas there is no electron in the 2p. But we have to check whether excitation is needed or not. Yes, in this case excitation is needed because there are two fluorine atoms. So one electron moves to the 2p orbital and thus there will be two half-filled orbitals in where? In the beryllium atom. Now in the case of fluorine, we have already seen in the case of fluorine, the electron is in what? The half-filled electron is in our p substance. So the p half-filled orbital overlap with these two. Before that, what will be the central atom forming? It will be forming hybrid orbitals of equivalent energy. What will be the hybrid orbitals? 1s and 1p. So in this case, our hybridization will be what hybridization? It will be sp hybridization. So how can we represent it? You can see that the beryllium, this is one sp hybridized orbital of beryllium. This is another sp hybridized orbital of beryllium. In this case, what happens? Axially, the 2p orbitals of fluorine atom overlap with, resulting in the formation of BeF2 molecule. Again, based on VSEPR, we can predict the shape. We can say that minimum repulsion, maximum distance. Thus, it is a linear shape. It acquires a linear shape with a bond angle of what? Bond angle of 180 degree. Now let us move on to our sp2 hybridization. In the case of sp2 hybridization, three hybrid orbitals will be formed. What is that? 1s and 2p orbitals will be formed. So the case of boron trifluoride. I am not writing the electronic configuration. We have already discussed it. So again what happens? Here 1s and 2p orbitals overlap. Thus this one is the sp2 hybrid orbital of boron. One sp2 orbital, this one is sp2 orbital and this one is sp2 orbital. To which what? The p orbitals of fluorine overlap, resulting in the formation of what? Resulting in the formation of sp2 orbitals. Now let us take the case of sp3 orbitals. In the case of sp3 orbitals, our example is what? Example is CH4, where we had seen that what is there? There will be 1s and 3p orbitals overlap. So there will be four hybrid orbitals formed. This one is for carbon. This one is the first sp3 hybrid orbital. This one is the second sp3. This one is the third sp3 and this one is the fourth sp3 orbital. It will overlap with hydrogen atom, resulting in the formation of what type of hybridization? Resulting in the formation of sp3 hybridized orbital. Now let us take one more example where we are talking about the sp3d hybridization. That is, in this case, d orbitals are also involved. An example for this is what? It is PCl5. So here our central atom is what? Central atom is phosphorus. So the configuration is like this. This one is what? This one is our 3s and this one is a, wait a minute. So since 5 orbitals, if phosphorus is forming 5 orbitals, so what happens to our configuration? One electron from the 3s orbital will move on to the next d orbital. Because what? Because half-filled electrons are required for bonding, and here already 3p orbitals are filled. So one electron will move to the d orbital, and thus what will be our hybridization? 1s, 3p and 1d. So our hybridization becomes what? It becomes sp3d or hybridization. That is 5 orbitals. These orbitals mix with each other to form sp3d hybrid orbitals. Now these hybrid orbitals overlap with the p orbital of what? Our molecule is what? It is PCl5. So in the case of chlorine, we know what is the configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, and 10, 2, 12, 12 plus what? 12 plus with that of p orbital, where there is one half-filled orbital in the p. So thus we can say that the 5 hybrid orbitals will overlap with what? Will overlap with half-filled 3p orbitals of chlorine to form which molecule? To form our PCl5 molecule. Thus the shape of PCl5 molecule is given as, thus the shape of PCl5 molecule is what? It is trigonal bipyramidal. Here you can see that there are 3 PCl bonds. These 3 PCl bonds, they lie in one plane, and thus they are called as what? Equatorial bond. They lie in one plane, making an angle of 120 degree with each other. and thus they are called as equatorial bond. The remaining two bonds, you can say that the remaining two bonds, what are the remaining PCl bonds? Perpendicular to the plane of the equatorial bonds. This one is our equatorial bond. The perpendicular to the plane of equatorial bond is what? These two. These PCl bonds lie above and below the plane, and they are called as what bonds? They are called as axial bonds. These three PCl forms equatorial bond, and the one lying above and below, or we can say that perpendicular to this equatorial bond forms what? It forms the axial bond. Now it has been found that the axial bonds are longer than that of equatorial bond. These axial bonds are slightly longer than what? Longer than equatorial bonds. And thus we can say that on dissociating PCl5 molecule, it gets easily dissociated. Why? Because its structure is unsymmetric. Why its structure is unsymmetric? Just now we have explained. Why it is unsymmetric? Because the axial bonds lying above and below are slightly longer than the equatorial bond. So, the PCl5 molecule easily dissociates to give PCl3 plus what? Plus our Cl2. The Cl2 forms the axial bond and 3-PCl forms our equatorial bond. Hope this hybridization topic is clear to you. Thank you.